Welcome back everyone for the most nerve-wracking retro scams to date. If you know anything about this game, you know why. So we're going to be covering Little Samson on the NES. At this point, I want to thank Vacuums and Video Games in Huber Heights, Ohio for letting me use their real copy of Little Samson to make this video. Just a note, by the time you are seeing this video, if it's still in the store there, you could go there and purchase it for yourself if you want, and it will be a real version of the game. They will even show you the board there. And this is definitely a game, if you are not able to see the board for it, do not buy it at all. Unless it's at like a garage sale for $5, then go for it, take the gamble. $5 would be worth it. But let's dive right on into this. So when we start with the labels on here, this is the real one on this side, this is the fake one. And usually how it works with these labels, the counterfeiters use the box art and then they kind of squish it down to fit on here correctly. So things will always be out of proportion, especially like the seal of quality. Nintendo's even kind of squished and things just don't look right on this label here. But as the common advice for this, pull up pictures online. There are going to be lots of pictures of what Little Samson is supposed to look like and compare with that. But do not trust anything on the outside of this cartridge when you are purchasing this game. So then when we flip it over and look at the back label on the real one has that little stamp of a number in it. The back label on the fake one is extremely glossy and does not have that stamped number. Plus, instead of a rectangle over the eye, there's an oval. And if you see on the real one, there's like piles and piles of information on there. The fake one just has a few sentences. Then if you look at the top, the real one says Little Samson in green, and the fake one says Nintendo Entertainment System in red. As far as the comparison of the shells, they look pretty similar. The real one, that little arrow's a little bit bigger than the fake one. But kind of like the previous video for Nintendo stuff, they've gotten these pretty accurate. And then those little grips on the side, the real one is more of a well-defined grip there. But now for the most important part of this, grounding myself out, and then we're going to take these apart. If you are going out to purchase Little Samson, make sure you bring something to remove the game bits with you. Now we did go over this in the other one too. The fake ones have these now too. They're a little bit of a different font, but this has B103 on the back part of the shell. The fake one has B52 on it, which it's a different font. There's not the same spacing on it. So make sure to take that into account when you're looking at that. And I didn't cover this one in the general video, but it's more important in this one because this is a specific game. This one, notice at this angle, F with the numbers after it is upside down. But at the same angle on the fake one, F with the numbers after it is upside up. So they actually have that numbering different than how the shell actually has it on the real version. Which there are other games that have it where it can vary, but since this is a specific game, then make sure you're looking at it to be the correct way. And then if you're going out to buy Little Samson, make sure you study this green board hard. NES LT is Little Samson's code on there. And on the board, it's actually on both of the big chips. So if your chips say something other than NES LT, then that is not correct. Then right by the capacitor, you have Nintendo with a little date on it. Then when you flip it over, there's so many solder points from things that come through the board. Which the technology at the time these were made, that's how these things would be. They didn't really have the surface mount technology during this time. Then you have more of the modern technology on here. This board is black, it has NES 240 on the end, and a whole bunch of surface mounted chips. Flip it over, this board was 2021 and flat and kind of boring on the back. And just because these ones are newer, I don't actually have any of the older fake versions of Little Samson, but I'm sure there's some that are not the black boards. They're probably more of the green boards like the traditional fake ones we've seen on other consoles. But just make sure to look for chips that are not surface mount. They go all the way through, has the capacitor, has Nintendo with a date on the board, plus it has the numbers that match the game's number on there. Which once again was NES LT. There we go, I just did my service to humanity on these. So what we're going to do is see how these work in the console. We are going with the real one first. If you've never played this before, this game is a lot like Mega Man style game. And now we're going to check out the fake one. As far as the system is concerned, these are the exact same games. That little worm thing and I are dancing. So I can't stress this enough, if you are in the market of getting Little Samson, then always make sure that you look at the board for it. But if you are wanting just the game to play and you don't care about it being authentic or anything, then this game I think was about $10 on AliExpress. The real copy of the game is a few $1,000s. So there's quite a big price difference in there. These fakes actually seem to be pretty good quality. So it's not like the Game Boy ones where it's just gonna fall apart and break after a few years. Shouldn't be Little Samson, it should be Spider-Man. I hope this was helpful for you, and if you have any questions or anything, please leave messages in the comments. Once again, I want to thank Vacuums and Video Games for helping to make this video possible. And if you are ever in Huber Heights, Ohio, then please check them out. I will leave a link to their website in the description. And please subscribe if you haven't, leave a thumbs up, do all that kind of fun stuff, and I want to thank you for watching. Have a nice day.